Hey guys, it's Tanto, and before I start off this video, I just want to say that I am so thankful for getting this channel to 300 subscribers. It really does mean a lot, and if you're new around here, please do consider leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing the video with your friends, because I want to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. It's a long shot, but I reckon we can do it. But to more or less celebrate, I'm going to be making another top tips video for you guys. It doesn't matter if you're new, or you're old, or a level 100 basically, you're going to learn something from this video. But before I go into it, I just want to say that I wanted to thank Metal Pigeon. He commented he's the top pinned post on my other video where he gave me a long list of stuff that I pretty much missed in my other video, and I asked him if I could make a video about his comments and he said go ahead. So we're going to be trying out and going through each and every one of the things that he mentioned in this video. Anyways, let's get into it. Alright, so the first tip is, did you know there is a difference between jumping over something and jumping on top of something? So basically, if you tap the spacebar key, you will climb over an obstacle such as a fence or a ledge, but if you hold the spacebar key, you will climb on top of it. Alright, so my next tip is, if you press G after throwing C4 or a claymore, it will detonate it. However, this means if you want to use your frag grenades, you're going to have to use your scroll wheel to select it in the weapons menu, and then you can throw it. Alright, so the next tip is for the people who like to use the chainsaw, aka the PPSH. I mean, that's not really what it's called, that's what I call it. Basically, don't use the drums, use the sticks, because the drum actually increases your ADS time, which is quite reasonable considering it must be really awkward holding it. I don't know why he holds it by the drum and not the base of the gun. But I don't know, I'm not a firearms expert. However, your recoil is significantly decreased when you use the drums, but it's not worth it in my opinion, and I'll explain why. Because the thing is, when you use the drum, you have 65 rounds. It means you're not going to have to reload a whole lot unless you have like OCD and need to hit the reload button after every time you shoot like me. It basically means that you can carry 2 drums at 65 rounds, and I'm trying to do the math at the top of my head, and I'm not very good at it, so it's like 30 plus 30, wait, no. 60 plus 60 is 120, plus 10 is 130 total ammo. But when you use the sticks, you have, fuck, it's not half the ammo. You get roughly half in a stick. So you're going to reload more often, but you get 4 sticks, so 30 times 4 is 120, plus an additional 20, 5 times 4 is 20, so you get 140 rounds instead. I think I did the math correct. Moral of the story is just use the sticks, but it's down to personal preference in all honesty. Now the next tip is for people who are using the MAT 49 or the Thompson, and mind you, the Thompson's one of my favorite guns in the game. I'm sorry, I just love it. And I'm also making a MAT 49 guide, so do stick around if you want to see that. But basically, the rangefinders on those guns are usually 50 or 100 meters, so the submachine guns. You're not going to be using these guns at range, but when you do use them at close range, you might use the iron sights, and the iron sights are just shocking, really shocking, especially in the MAT 49. But basically, you want to change the rangefinder from 50 meters to 100 meters, and trust me, it's so much better. The iron sight opens up, and there's no difference between the distance between 50 and 100 meters. There's no difference, let's be honest. However, this doesn't work for a lot of other guns, like the XM, I don't know the term of the gun, but you know what gun I'm talking. The better M16, basically, you don't want to change the rangefinder on that weapon because it just makes it harder to look at, especially the M16. It makes it harder. I understand the scientific reasoning behind it, because apparently when you constrict the, let's say, the pupil or whatever you want to call it, it means you're able to see at distance a lot easier. I don't know how else to kind of explain it, but basically if you were to get your eye and then you stick your hand in front of it, but like kind of do the OK symbol but really constrict it, you're able to see a lot further because the light is constricted. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but that's kind of the reason why the M16 has that. It's easier to see things at distance, but it makes it harder to actually see anything at all. Alright, the next tip is very useful if you're like me who likes to go green beret mode every now and then when you're behind enemy lines and you're like sneaking around and you're like bayoneting them in the back and shooting them and assassinating them. I love doing that. Basically, you'll get a warning that says, oh, fall back, you're in enemy territory and you can't use your weapon or whatever. You can still use your weapon as long as you remain in the area. If you die or leave the area and try to go back in it, you can't use your weapons. There's no like time limit. You can stay there as long as you want, basically. basically with using your weapons, and it's really good to kind of just hide, and while the enemies are spawning up ahead, especially if they have like tunnels and stuff and they're spawning right in front of you, you're able to sneak up behind them, kill them, destroy some of the tickets, make them, frustrated, flustered, angered, and this should actually hold their advance forward. Alright, so the next tip is if you use the MAS-49, I believe the MAS-49, I actually really enjoy this weapon, but there's actually two different variants. You got the grenade variant, which I actually love to use. It's just fun. I don't know. It's not the best gun, but it's fun. And then you got the rifleman's variant. Now, if you plan on using this weapon to actually use it and fire it, use the rifleman's variant, because there is a lot less recoil as opposed to the grenade variant, because apparently the grenade variant uses the grenade shooting sort of recoil and it applies it to firing the bullets. Trust me, you'll be able to see it up on screen, but there is so much more recoil on the grenade version. So if you plan on using the rifle, don't use the grenadier version. Now the next tip is for the people who like to use the Type 56 folded stock. That's one of my favorite weapons in the game, but basically a little tip for you guys. When you fold the stock, if you, I don't know if you guys do this, but I have a monitor and I have the center of my screen marked. And when I use a gun with a folded stock, all the bullets will always go to the center of the screen. They won't go to where the iron sights is or wherever. It's always to the center of the screen. But anyways, I'm going to end today's video there. If you did enjoy it, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing. I will make more Rising Storm 2 Vietnam videos until I get, I'd say fairly big, and then I'm gonna have to diversify my content and make other videos and stuff. But for the time being, it's RS2 Vietnam related. If you love this game, you're gonna love this channel. Anyways, my name is Tan2, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.